My next book comes out October 3rd. It's called Without Merit, and it is about a 17-year-old girl named Merit. And she's a teenage girl who, kind of dislikes her family, thinks the world is against her, and so she kind of vents it all out in this letter that she writes to them and doesn't intend to give it to them, but she does. And while they're all sleeping, she slides it under the door, and she regrets it the next day, but they've all already read the letter. So the book is mainly about the aftermath of that and how all the family secrets that she spilled have kind of, and how they're going to deal with it. I try to make each book different from the last. I don't want to be an author that has a formula or, the books are kind of similar to each other, and so my personal goal is to make them as different as they can be so that readers don't know what to expect. I'm constantly learning things about myself as a writer. I kind of got into this career by accident. I was a social worker, wrote a book for fun, and put it online. I was self-published through Amazon, and within 3 or 4 months it hit the New York Times. So my whole life just kind of, took this really unexpected turn. And now when I go back and read my original books, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I, wrote it this way. And I'm constantly learning with every book. I didn't know how people would take that book because it kind of had a different ending than most of my books usually have. And I was nervous, but I can't even begin to say how overwhelming the response to that book was. Just wonderful, wonderful responses. And to know that it actually helped women make a choice that helped them, maybe save their lives. And, they'll message me about that. And I'm so glad that I wrote that book and put it out there because I was really hesitant to do that. And, the big thing with that book is when you put it down, someone who would maybe benefit from it. I've received a lot of emails and comments from people that have never been in that situation but have judged people in that situation, that after reading it, it's changed their minds. They're like, you know what, I'm going to be a little more sensitive to this topic now. People ask where I get my inspiration, but it's more where don't I get inspiration. I find it everywhere. I can sit in an airport and find a story with people walking by. I think my problem is figuring out which book I'm going to write and focus on because I can only do one at a time because I have to live and breathe those characters while I'm writing the book. And so I tend to find the inspiration comes easily. The writing sometimes doesn't. My favorite part is, I think, laying out the whole book idea. The very beginning, it's just really fun, just creating the story, creating the characters, and shaping everything and putting it together. The actual process is a little bit grueling, and so the beginning and the end are very fun. There are times that I hate it, but I love the result. I love the outcome. I love doing it. I would do it whether I'm published or not, and so I get it. It's an up and down. Like you feel really proud, one night, and then you wake up and read it the next morning, and you're like, what did I write? Why did I like that? Throughout this whole process, I think the most important thing for me has been to write what makes me happy, because I know that no matter what I write, there are going to be people that hate it and love it. And I also don't try to focus on what's popular because trends change so much. So I feel like if I'm happy with the book, then that's the most important thing. So that's really my only goal. I just finished Hating You, Dating You by Christina Lauren. My book club is reading that for our book club, and it was really fun. I had never read a romance novel before I wrote my first one, and I didn't even know that I had written a romance. I thought it was drama, but yeah, now I love it. I love reading it. Probably my favorite author is Tiffany De Bartolo. Yeah, I own the Bookworm Box that's in Silver Springs, Texas. It's a specialty bookstore, so all the books are donated by the authors and signed, and all the money goes to charity. We've donated about $1 million in 2 years since we've been opened.